Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine show presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics, and I'm now joined by Navy men's rugby senior Austin Taylor. Austin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me on.
Army looming this weekend. Austin, you have a chance to cap your career with the Midshipmen, beating the Black Knights every single time you faced them. Just talk to me about the emotions of your team as you head into this big match this weekend.
Yeah, I think one of the important things about this week is that, we have to treat it like every other game. Um, if we bring the emotion into it, if we get all worked up about how big this game is, that's when our tendency is to not do as well. So I think what we have to do is we have to approach this like we approach every other game and, you know, feel the emotions, like understand the emotions there, but not let them affect how we play.
Also, want to go back to your journey joining this midshipman squad when you were entering your time at the Naval Academy because you were a talented football player, talented baseball player at a high school. Why was rugby the natural fit as you picked up a sport here in the yard?
Yeah, definitely. So I was actually at like a Georgia parents meet and greet for like the upcoming midshipmen back when I graduated high school. And one of the alumni had approached me and asked, what sport I was interested in playing. And I wasn't recruited for football or baseball or anything like that. So I kind of just told them about my background, and they really recommended the rugby team.
I love it. You've also done your part in the classroom as well. You boast a 3.8 GPA currently. How do you compartmentalize so that you're able to excel both on the pitch and then also in the classroom and around the hall?
I think it's a good, I think time management is definitely a big part. And then also having the support staff we have within the team and, around the yard. We are connected with some great faculty advisors and stuff that can, advise us on how to excel in both, team aspect and then also on a, academics aspect.
Now, I have to ask you about this, Austin, because I don't see it often on many players' bios, so there's got to be some truth to it. It says you enjoy volunteering at food pantries. Where does that come from?
Well, that comes from high school. Yeah, I was, during COVID, I was looking for a place to kind of spend some of my extra time. And food pantries were like really, really in need of help during COVID. So not only did I have a chance to kind of volunteer with them on, multiple occasions, but I also, as part of my school, I worked on kind of the big picture and how the food pantries like transfer food and how they store their food. So I help them think of like a method in which they can store food that makes it last so much longer, I guess.
Why is service so important to you, Austin?
I think service is very important because, it's rooted in kind of who I am. And that's really what brought me to the Naval Academy is being able to serve people greater than myself, a cause greater than myself.
This weekend, it's very fitting that you're going up against another service academy that's also rooted in similar values. Just what is this match like going up against Army each year?
I think it's, we play a lot of teams that recruit a bunch of international students, get most of their talent from internationally. So I think it's very refreshing to, go up, play against, similar-minded people with similar motivations to service. And I think it just makes the competition so much more fierce, I guess.
Talk to me a little bit more about that competition because obviously you both desperately want that star. What is it like once the whistle blows?
Yeah, I think once you get out there, you're trying to relax, let the moment, let the emotions of the moment, I guess, relax you. Like you have to, ignore some of the emotions of the moment and just perform like we've practiced, day in, day out. Um, but I think once that whistle blows, we start the match and it's kind of just like you're in kind of a fog of war. But I think an important thing is after the match, we shake hands, and we go about our service to the country. So
Had a chance to talk to a couple of your teammates so far this season. They all talked about wanting to return to that mountaintop that you guys were on your freshman year. How important is that goal to you, and how have you seen you guys get closer to that throughout this fall?
Yeah, I think it's something we look at towards the end of the season as kind of like a benchmark, like a goal at the end of the season. But I think our focus is really on the week to week basis and taking each game at a time because we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
What can folks expect to see if they're making the trip with the West Point this weekend?
Oh, it should definitely, a rugby match at Army, on the Hudson. It's going to be an intense match. It's going to be a close game. No matter what the paper says, it's going to be a close game and it's going to be a hard-fought match. So it'll definitely be entertaining.
All right, Austin, and also as your four seasons start to come to a close, at least the fall, for that measure, you were a great baseball player, great football player growing up. Now that you got 4 years of rugby in the books, what are you going to look back on most fondly?
I'm definitely going to look at back on rugby and the kind of the close relationships we make within the team. Seeing each other, 6 days a week or so, and multiple practices a week, you really grow close to the guys around you. So definitely looking back on not only the game experiences, but also like the day in day out practices and just being with the guys.
Austin, next Thursday is a big day for you. How
Yeah,
excited are
it's
you? How excited are you, and what are you shooting for?
It's a definitely a very big day. A lot of the firsties are very excited, for to, find out about their services selections. So that's kind of what we've been building on for, 4 years now. So we're definitely very excited. I'm hoping to, so I put NSW first, and then I put Marine Air second, but I'd be happy with any one of them. Just excited to serve.
What would it mean to you to have that opportunity once you graduate and you commission?
I think it'll be, I think it's what we, set out to do from day one. The 4 years of the academy is honestly just in preparation for what we do after we graduate. And that's what we really focus on with the rugby team is that, rugby is a small bit of, how we prepare to lead sailors and Marines in the fleet. So I think focusing on that preparation really brings us down. To like on the facing Army this weekend. How is that going to affect what kind of leaders we are after we graduate?
Incredible. Austin, last thing I have for you, bring it back to this team. What is this group capable of this season? You're undefeated right now, number one in America. How do you keep it going?
I think the focus is on the day-to-day basis. How do we get better each and every day at practice, and getting the most out of the time we have, especially with the light situation. Gets dark a lot earlier. We have to be really efficient with how we practice. So I think our focus is on the day-to-day basis and how we get better each and every practice. So then we can take this weekend in strong and beat Army. So
I love it. Austin, keep up the continued success. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Go beat them this weekend.
great. Thank you so much.
You have been listening to the Navy Sports Magazine Show, presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Navy Federal Credit Union is a proud supporter of Navy athletics.